I have a few outstanding jobs what I want to do on my TD5, but I was waiting till the weather was a little bit nicer and a little bit nicer to be out and about as well. The sun's out today. It's a beautiful day. It's still a little bit cold, but not too bad. So I'm going to be doing my Serpentine belt today. I'm going to share with my experience, any tips, any tricks, any hacks as well along the video. So make sure you stay to the end of the video to see the full change of the Serpentine belt. It is a little bit tricky to film, but I'll do my best to film as much as I can and explain as much as I can. So let's get into it. Start by removing the cowl of the fan. Just a Phillips screwdriver there. Phillips down here and the other side as well. Takes a little bit of wriggling, but you get there eventually. Now my belt isn't cracked or anything, but it does look quite frayed down there, and it has been quite squeaky recently, especially on the cold mornings. And I have never replaced this in the 10 years I've owned this vehicle, so it seems like a good time to actually replace this belt. So what we want to be doing is getting that viscous knot off down there. Looks like it might be a little bit tight, but we'll give it a go. And you need a viscous spanner to take it off, so I've got one here. So the only special tool I've got is the viscous fan removal, which is a 36mm. It's also a 32 on one end, 36 on the other. I don't have the a wedge, so the viscous fan nut is very, very tight. So what I did, I got a big pry bar, blocked it on one of the nuts, and then to unscrew it, you want to be going that way. And it was obviously really tight, so you can't really get much leverage on that. So I got a bigger spanner, a big 24, put it onto the end of that. So basically this is my setup of how I got the viscous fan off. Didn't use any spray. Pry bar down there, blocked it on, and now it's free to turn. I can guarantee whoever put this on before me has not used any anti-seize compound on it. And when I put it back on, I suppose it's done alright. I've never had to have it off in the 10 years I've owned it anyway. If you notice, I'm actually pinching the fan with my finger, so when I do actually get it off, it won't just drop down. You don't want to damage any of the blades, so just keep a pinch motion on it while you're undoing it. Just saves it dropping down and damaging anything. Alright, notice that, how it's now free, and I've still got my pinch on it, so it didn't actually fall down. It's quite a heavy bit of kit. It's obviously full of oil, so when it spins around, it kind of sloshes around and makes the viscous fan what it is. This is where you can get a good look of how your belt's configured as well. Always consult the service manual as well. It tells you exactly how the belt's configured. But it goes around an idler pulley there, around the steering pump, water pump, alternator, so, and then obviously the crank at the bottom. So 15mm down onto the tensioner. And then turn it anti-clockwise till it moves. And that'll be enough to get the belt off now. See it moving? Once you unhook the belt, you can pretty much let the slack back off the tensioner now. And there it is, one belt. Notice there's absolutely no writing on it anymore. This is way past being replaced. I've definitely taken it too far on this belt, but it's still not cracked. It's just very, very hard, quite brittle, so no wonder it's squeaking quite a lot. But yeah, not cracked, probably still got a bit of life left in it, but just quite worn. While you're down here as well, you can listen to all the different pulleys to see if they're raking, see if they're noisy or not. And they're all pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead, clean some of the pulleys up, especially this one down here. Maybe get a little wire brush on this one. Just quite a soft abrasive one, just to clean some of that rust off, just to make the belts run smoothly on that surface. Just going to get a soft wire brush and brass bristles, a bit of contact cleaner as well, just to clean it on the pulleys. Now the advantages of doing this on your own is you can go into the detail, whereas a garage, they just want to get it turned around and get onto the next job. So you can get it nice and clean everywhere. New belt's been warming up in the sun, makes it easier to put back on. Okay, so it is a bit of a faff, this belt, there's no denying that. So what I did, and I couldn't do it when I was filming, obviously, because I needed more than two hands, but I've only got two, so I kind of like used an elbow to wedge something. So I started on the crank at the bottom, put it onto the crank, then put it onto this 4 pulley there, hooked it down, and then put it onto this back pulley. So you've got to be super careful with the viscous fan when putting it back on, not to thread it. You don't want to be threading this because, oh, what a pain it would be if you did. What you want to do is you want to be supporting it by 2 hands either side of it. You just want to be pushing it onto the thread and just trying to guide it on really deliberately and carefully each time. And don't commit to spinning it until you can certain it's on. So I think it's on now, so I can then start spinning it on. But yeah, it's really not easy to get on. I mean, we used to have competitions when I was back in the Marines and who could get it on the quickest. And it will self-tighten as well. So that's it, ready to go back together. So that's the belt on, fan on, now the cowling needs to go back on. And that's it, job done. Can always rely on a Land Rover to throw a curveball at you just at the last bit. You've the last part of the job. So what's actually happened is the little kind of clip here, what screws on the cowling to the surrounding trim, has fallen off. And it's gone into the depths of the down where the intercooler is. So I should be able to get it out. Maybe a little bit of a faff though. So that's it there. The little clip. So this is actually quite a handy tool if you don't have one of these. It's basically a little push lever, and it kind of like wraps around all sorts of shapes. Get down to the depths of the engine, get it there, and you can kind of just seek around and it will grab something. And it's really handy, so I'd definitely recommend that. Dirt cheap to buy. 100% should get that in your toolbox. A magnet is also good as well, but a magnet doesn't give you the flexibility of getting non-magnetized or non-ferrous materials like stainless and things like that. If you drop one of them in the engine bay, you're obviously only going to get carbon steel with it. So let's get this cowling back on now and try not to throw off one of the clips again. So that's it, all back together. Just need to tidy up everything now. All my tools away, new belt on. Start it up, see if it's all right. Obviously, you don't have to put this back on if you want to just check the belt to see if you put it back on right, but I'm pretty confident that it's back on correctly. So if you had found this video helpful, do hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe along. I've got a few more spring jobs what I want to do on this TD5, so plenty more content to come. I'll see you next time.